Yeah, brother, I was going to get to you. I noticed you asked the sort of the same question again today. I try to get to everybody when I can, and believe me, your question interests me. Tough question, and why is that? Because Jose Aldo held the featherweight title in WEC for a really long time. Came over and held it in the UFC for quite a while too. And then what happened? He lost that title. His whole team was forced off drugs, him, Henan Brow, and they had a real rough time of it. Henan Brow still has a rough time of it. But Jose Aldo transformed himself into a bantamweight and became world class again. I think it would have been a really cool ending to his story if he was able to get that bantamweight title, but he's just like a shy, like one straw shy of being able to do that. So I have a really tough time picking between the two. Now, all of that to say about Jose Aldo and his incredible fighting prowess takes nothing away from Alexander Volkanovski. In fact, I think Volkanovski is even more fun. You know why? Because he's so short. He's forced to adapt his style to his size. And the way he darts in and out is nothing short of remarkable. So even guys like, Holloway, who have very crisp boxing slash Muay Thai in an MMA world, aren't able to compete with a guy who can dart in and out like that. You could say the stuff Volkanovski does is otherworldly. Now, is Volkanovski better than Aldo? Yes, I think we know, right? He beat him, number one, right? I think. And number two, we're in a better era of MMA, right? So in that era of MMA, I mean, the UFC didn't even have the lighter weight classes. Like, they didn't absorb them until they bought WEC, right? And absorbed Bantam, absorbed Feather, and all of that. But that having been said, I think that Volkanovski is quite clearly the best of all time. The fact that he fell to Ilia Topuria talks a lot about how good Ilia Topuria is. Now, that having been said, can Ilia Topuria take that style of his and make it work at lightweight? I don't know. Certainly, I think he can make it work against Islam, because Islam's not a huge kicker, despite the fact he did knock Volkanovski out with a head kick in their second bout. Yeah, I think Topuria's problem is going to be when he starts slipping and sliding. Volk's problem is always going to be when he's outmatched physically, and it's not really hard to outmatch Volk physically because he's so short. He's just a little guy. But his heart, his work ethic, and his abilities are second to none. So, okay, I take it a long time to totally agree with you, listener. Yes, he is the greatest featherweight of all time. Physically, as far as being able to win and whatnot, can he beat Topuria if he comes down again? I don't know. It's a fight I would really like to see, but if Topuria's having weight problems, I guess we'll never see that. Can Volk go up and win? Look, he almost beat Islam the first time he fought him, so yeah, your guess is as good as mine. I don't like pound for pound list, listener, because how do you ever make them? Like, Jose Aldo was the best of his time, and Volkanovski's the best of his time, and I just leave it at that. Read my book, Warrior of the